Hello, everyone. Welcome to Eye Opener Society. Welcome back again. Thank you for sitting down and joining us. This space is for you. We appreciate you being here. I'd like to jump into this episode, but before I do, there is something I want to say. Excuse me. I don't know. All day long, my voice was fine. As soon as I hit record, it starts to mess up. But I wanted to give a shout out to Appalachian Rootworks. And if you go back to the Appalachian Rootworks episode that I did, just look for their logo. Carly and Carla, two beautiful, wonderful people. And I wanted to talk about them because I'm going to be heading back down to Kentucky. I'm going to be there with my wife, and there's going to be another festival. And it slips my mind the name of it, but it's for October and Halloween. And we just want to be a part of that. And I know Appalachian Rootworks handles a lot of these things, and they put in so much work with it. But Carly and Carla have their own podcast called Without a Candle. They could be found on Podbean, as can we. We are found on Podbean, and I wanted to let everyone know that there's going to be something new I'm going to be trying out with Podbean, and I'm going to be discussing it with Lizzie once we get off of here. And it's just a new thing. I know 41% of our audience is from Podbean, and I just wanted to give a little extra for those people that are following us on Podbean. But Appalachian Rootworks, give them a follow. Visit them if you are in Kentucky. Visit their shop and listen to their podcast Without a Candle. And speaking of Lizzie, Lizzie's here with me. Lizzie, it's great to have you here. We were so wrapped up in our conversation that I totally forgot to add that other thing in there, but we could get back with that after the recording. But Lizzie, I've been discussing with you how aggravated I've been with a couple of things. Not so much aggravated, but just taking my life back. Now, I'll explain it again real quick for the audience. 4 years ago, so I was touched more by the spiritual energy, and that spiritual energy giving me a whole new outlook on life. And where I'm walking more of a spiritual path, and I'm trying to help people to do that as well. Uh, but I want people to understand something. Walking that spiritual journey doesn't mean you got to give up your personality. It doesn't mean that you got to give up, things you believe in. Just recently, I was supposed to be moving into a new place again with my stepdaughter Hannah and all to bring back the real Eye Opener Society, having a permanent studio. But we were blocked because the lease was 44 pages long. Okay. That's 44 pages of vagueness, 44 pages of stupidity, things you couldn't even badmouth the realtor company. And that's literally what you were signing. But I took on my old personality. I called them up and I was like, nope, ain't happening. Not signing this lease. And they were like, oh, why? I said, well, because I'm not sitting there giving up all of my rights as a human being, not giving up, full power for you to sue me, but I can't sue you. Not doing it. I don't care. No matter how bad it was, I would have needed a place. I'm not doing it. And this is what people need to realize. You need to be stronger in life. And I started taking back a lot more of my older persona, and not to be a dick, not to be an asshole, but to be stronger. And I think people need to be stronger in this, world. Uh, because otherwise you're going to be walked all over. And I don't care what kind of spiritual path you're on, what kind of energy work you're doing. You shouldn't be walked on. You need to have that positive energy. You need to be uplifted and you need to be motivated, but you got to start taking responsibility for yourself as well. So, Lizzie, I know we spoke and I know you have your perspectives on it, and I totally recognize them and I respect them as well. So, tell me a little bit about what you're thinking.
Okay, and we touched on so many thoughts here. Let's see if I can pull them all together here.
Sure.
The first one I want to say is spiritual journey is such a unique journey for each individual person because wherever you are is not where you're going to end up, and wherever you think you're going is usually not where you want to go. And so, in your spiritual journey, especially in the beginning, you're in this phase of like just shedding all these layers of like false identities, things you think that are you, but you're not. And as you let things go and kind of shift and try to see what is left, people have a tendency to go to far the other way. And I say too far, but it's not really. It's kind of just like the pendulum swings from one side to the next. If you start off really harsh with great boundaries, you tend to get too soft before you come back to a good balance. If you start off too soft and overgiving, you tend to come over kind of like an asshole and then you come back into the middle. And so in your spiritual journey, it's just, yeah, you've got to soften yourself, your own needs, the people around you, building compassion. But that does not ever take away from your right to be a sovereign being in of yourself and to stand up for yourself, even in softness. Where the line is between soft and fierce, I don't know. I'll figure that one out sometime. But there's a line there that I think we're all aiming to get because that's where peace and unity comes, is somewhere between soft and fierce. Somehow they're the same.
Well, okay, I think I'm gonna end the conversation here. Wow. I was not expecting that. Lizzie, this is amazing. This is why I work with you, though. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That really did. You brought a lot of that into perspective. So let's discuss something else that I was also talking about. It's when we work with other people, all right? And I realized where my interpretation was trying to go, and you fixed that too as well. We need to work with people that we can actually work with. Whether you're doing your energy work, whether I'm doing meditation, and I'm going to use my end just because I get this all the time. I want to meditate. Oh, I have to meditate. I'm so interested in meditation. Can you help me? I need to do this. And then you work with them and they don't do shit. Honestly, they don't do anything. And it's just, then what it is, it becomes, this is just something you're interested in. You want to hear about it. You want to learn about it. You want to talk about it. You're not going to do it. So I need to work with the people who are actual doers, people that are actually going to take what I'm teaching them and actually apply it to their life and actually do it. And I'm not, telling people, give me results immediately, but you have to start. There's a beginning. But if you're not even going to pick up like that pencil to take a note, then I can't work with you. And I've said it so many times on many podcasts. I can only work with people, that I'm going to mesh with. But at the same time, what I always said, if you cannot work with me, you don't have to work with me. Find other people and see who it is that you mesh and blend with. Maybe that's where the issue is. Maybe it's just the teacher that you're not comfortable with. But a lot of times too, no matter, you could work with 25 different people. If you're not doing anything, then you are a waste of time. And that's where I was trying to get. And it sounds so harsh, so cold, but at some point, people need to hear that, in order to move forward.
For sure, I totally agree with you. I didn't share this part with you, but as a massage therapist, I completely understand with this one. On a Is it I guess this is a good example because it's more physical, you can really picture it. You'll have somebody come in and they're like, "My shoulder hurts, I'm getting all these headaches, it's ruining my quality of life." And you get them on the table and you massage them out, and then you're like, "Oh, well, your pec is really far forward, it's throwing off your whole system, that's why you're getting headaches up by your eye. So let's just fix this a little bit. It looks like you need to do some rebalancing. Come back next month, do these exercises in between, and then we'll see where we're at." Well, next month comes along, and guess what? They did none of the exercises. They did all of the same lifestyle things. They didn't even raise their arm above their head like I told them to. And now they want me to still be able to fix it in this session like I thought I could. Well, I can't. So now we're doing the same thing we did last time. I give you the stretches, you go home. Now you're confused why it's been 3 months now and you have the same issue. Well, because all of it, whether spiritual or physical, is all patterning. And so it's the patterning you do every day. And so, yeah, it is really hard to take that piece of information, that cool tool, and actually pattern it into your life. But that's the only way it's going to make a difference. Otherwise, you're going to tune in to your massage or your Reiki session once a month and have an hour of peace and then wonder the rest of the 29 days why everything sucks. It's because 29 days you still have the pattern of whatever it is that you are doing. It's got to be integrated into the whole thing.
Yes. And this is what I was just trying to, express. Yes, everybody has their responsibility in fixing whatever it is they wanna fix. Everybody, whether it's the massage therapist, the Reiki master, meditation, whatever that may be. We have our say in it. We have you know, our script in that. But the person that is being worked on, they have 100% of the responsibility of making it all work. Um, I can literally, like, there's times I sit and I say, okay, this is what's going on in my life. Man, one of two things. I could keep letting it go on and complain about it every single day. And what is it doing? It's doing nothing. It's making it worse, right? Or I could say, okay, what's causing the problem? Figure out what's causing the problem. Okay, how do I eliminate that? Figure out how to eliminate that. Now that's up to me to actually eliminate it. Or I could just sit in my same redundant over and over. This is what's bothering me. Nah, it's time. People, I have to sometimes feel, and everybody works different. I feel I should be a little bit stronger by saying, you really need to make a change, then you need to make that change. That's not gonna be up to the people that are helping you. They're only helping, but it's up to you to actually do it. I can, someone standing up. Well, standing up is what's the problem. You need to sit down. And if you continue standing up, what can I tell you? Now I'm gonna finally tell you, you need to sit down. If you don't, then I'm no longer working with you. This is where, like I said, I don't want to be cruel, mean, vicious, or anything like that, but I do believe that we need to make some sort of difference in a person's life, and even if that means telling them exactly what it's like.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly with you because, we don't do this for the money. We do this because we're excited to help people. And so when people come in, even if you're going to give us your money, if you're not doing stuff at home, it feels like a waste of time. It feels like a waste of your money. It feels like a waste of my mental space. And so, yeah, I don't really want to work with you as much if you want me to just fix you once a month. But if you wanna put in the effort, I'm gonna put in, like, so much effort. We're gonna figure out what it is. And I think a lot of that, just depends on the person and exactly what you need. If you are, like, swinging back and forth between soft or fierce or all of these different, because it almost kind of feels like a symphony of notes you're supposed to figure out how to harmonize within yourself, right? But what is that if your harmony is different than another person? So if you can work with different people and everybody's going to give you a little bit of a different note. Somebody who's used to being too soft probably needs somebody to call them on their shit. You know what I mean? And that should be a little harsh when you know who you're speaking to and what kind of note they bring, that then you know when and why to go to them. Whereas somebody who, maybe is used to being a little bit more harsh and is trying to soften, they need a perspective of a little bit softer. And so that's why I always encourage people to work with like a lot of people and kind of change it throughout. Like you shouldn't be getting all your stuff from one person because you're not trying to like tune to one person. And when you're sharing messages, you should also share it authentic to you because that's how you needed to hear it, and so that's how somebody else needed to hear it too.
Yeah, and while it's still in my mind, 'cause when you started talking about that, you mentioned something about being paid and the money aspect, and that's a big difference because I don't work for money. I can set up things, if, you wanted a session, and if I set something up and I'm having you pay me, at that point, you know what? You're throwing your money away if you're not following the process.
Yeah.
But now, like, I'm working with someone right now, and there's 0 money involved in this. I'm just working, and you're right. Now, I'm giving you 100% of my time and attention. That is more, that's worse than, just if you're paying me for it, it's fine, but if I'm doing it freely, this is what really sticks. That's a sticking point. Am I helping you or not? Because if I'm not, there's much better things I can actually go and do. I can actually maybe work with people that are going to, need my services or whatever that case may be. So you did bring up a good point with that. There is a big difference between, yeah, paying and not. Because, yeah, if you're paying, I'll do whatever it is. because it's your money. I'm not gonna worry about it at that point. Now you're paying me for my time, but if my time is being freely given to you, then yeah, it becomes more of a my decision at that point, and
You know
I
what?
do.
I agree with you. You're right. If somebody's paying for something, you should just like in a sense be happy to do it. But I think that maybe just matching that a little bit, like, okay, if somebody's gonna come in for an hour of energy work and they come in and they've journaled and they've figured some things out and they've had like a good cry and they've gone on a walk and here's all the things that they've like thought about, I might take time the next time before their session to really like pull together a lot of things that's like so I'm ready to give them everything they're ready to take from that hour session. But if somebody comes up to the session and they're like, "Oh yeah, I pondered what we talked about last time. What exercise was it that I was supposed to do?" I'm not going to take that extra time because truthfully, as an energy worker and with meditation and all of this, it is a lot more than just that hour that you spend with them. You have to mentally prepare. You have to pull yourself together in a way where you can set space for somebody. And so when they take that hour of time, whether they pay or not, it's really like a lot more than just that hour. And
Mm.
so, yes, if you pay, okay, I'll be happily to do all of the things that I have listed out for you in the service. But maybe my issue is that I'm just an overgiver and I just would give too much to people who aren't, you know, not being a loser about it.
Yes, and but listen, that's a good point though. If you're a free giver like that, you wind up draining so much of your energy too. And that's why I always feel if I'm gonna give that much energy to anybody, that person should be using it to better themselves.
Yeah, or the community, or it's gotta be going out. You don't wanna be pouring into an empty pit. It's gotta be going somewhere, you know what I mean? Coming back, going out into the community, wherever it is. It's just gotta be going somewhere. That's the whole
Right.
point, right?
Yes, and you know what? I could leave it right there because you're so right. It needs to go somewhere. It needs to actually physically happen, and if it's not, it's not. It's a waste of time. I like that. Um, I set up a Wednesday night meditation, depending when you're listening to this episode, where I guided you through this exact thing. And it was a guided meditation based on becoming more positive, more energetic, and not allowing things to stand in your way. And this is the whole reason for the topic. So it's a generalized, meditation. So it's basically there for everybody. But if you want to tune it to something more personal, reach out to me, eosmeditation@gmail.com. And if you wanted to work with Lizzie, you do the same thing. And Lizzie, the other thing I just did, surprisingly, it took me a long time, but I actually got on your Substack.
Saw that. I saw you subscribe, which
Yeah.
is kind of funny. I haven't been doing a whole lot on there because I keep swapping what I want to be doing. But I swear, I finally think I know what I'm doing on there. So,
Yeah.
so it'll be exciting to see. You know.
Yeah, for sure. But I like that. I like, when you tell me how much you enjoy writing, I could see that in your Substack and everything that you put together and laid out. Because you're spelling it out. It's very easy, like to sit and talk to you and you're talking about it. So it's gotta be tremendously difficult to actually write out, you know, word for word, all of that energy work.
It is because for a long time, my brain has been trying, like we were talking about how like each person is different. One person will be a little bit more firm, one person will be soft, and you need different things in different moments. And I've tried so hard to say exactly the right thing that can just vaguely cover what everybody needs to hear. And it just doesn't fucking work that way. And so then I switched tactics to trying to say it just how I would need to hear it. And so that's been a lot of fun. But then you know how I needed to hear it? In circles, because this is very entangled mesh of information. And if you try to spell it out, you lose all of the meaning and all of the way it's connected. And so I've learned to not really edit my stuff and to just kind of write it how I would just speak it right in that time. And then that's just seems to be the best way to do it for me in this moment, I guess.
Yeah, and I like it. It's energy dot by Lizzie, and that's on Substack. I got a link actually up on Facebook too for it. And I'll make sure a link is down in the synopsis for this episode. Check it out. It's actually really good. Like I say, it took Lizzie probably a lot of time, a long time to write that out, spell it out, and get it out there. But it's really interesting to see. I'm caught up in Lizzie's world just because she is a co-host and she is a friend of mine, and just anything. And to be quite honest, to simplify it though, the other day you sent me a text, random, something about how you appreciate me and glad I
Mm.
exist. Boom, my heart melted. It just melted, because, my wife is exactly like that. She loves doing little things like that for people. Now I'm seeing why she's doing it when something like that, happens just so randomly. So that catches me up in your energy work, everything that you do. Every time you speak, I learn something new from that. So that's basically what the Substack is. Get inside it. Lizzie's energy. Go, just visit,
Yeah,
And
watch me learn out loud and
yeah,
see if I can embarrass myself without blushing.
right. There you go. But it's fun. It really is. It makes for a fun learning environment, but you're actually learning something from it too. So I would say just work with Lizzie. It is. It's a lot of fun getting jammed up in her energy. It really is. And there's so much of it. And the chaos has really evened itself out. I've noticed.
It's more, like a chaotic field of flowers versus, like, something being demolished, I think. So it's
So poetic, man. I love it. Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate it though. I appreciate what you're doing. Your work alone is really something amazing. And we always kind of do this. It's our style to do the podcast now. We sit before the podcast and have this whole energy session and workout, and then we are so tied up in it, we hit record and boom, there we go. We got a show. So it's a good way to see life, to learn about yourself. Uh, there's a lot of things that you focus on that I don't have much knowledge of. So go visit energy.by.lizzie Substack. I'll have the links down there. And don't forget, we'll be changing up a few things too. I'm going to be discussing that. So if you are on Podbean, remember, you get the video version now on Podbean. If you're not on Podbean and would like to look at our beautiful faces, go to BitChute or YouTube. We are on both of those platforms as well for the video. But Podbean now also allows me to do the video. Actually, it allowed me to do it for a long time, and I only learned about it. So that's my problem. But you will see the video. But we'll also have the audio version too, as well, in case you're driving in the car and you shouldn't be watching TV. So you will also still have the audio version on both. Lizzie, I want to thank you, as always, for being a friend, for being a co-host, for being a wonderful member of this entire community, and also just for being a wonderful human being.
Thank you very much, and I thank you for being as much of a teacher as you are a student with everything that we do together. I definitely benefit very greatly from what you have to offer.
I appreciate that very much. And again, anybody that wants to work with either me or Lizzie, reach out to us, eosmeditation@gmail.com, and we will see you soon.